The gentleman from Arlington, Mr. Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise for personal privilege.
The gentleman has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, as many of you know, affordable housing is an issue that is incredibly important to me and to the people of my district. However, affordable housing is not just an issue that affects my neighbors in the 49th, but an issue that touches the day-to-day lives of all Virginians. The ever-increasing cost of housing is having a serious impact on the daily budgets of people across the Commonwealth. Over the past 5 years, increases in rental costs throughout Virginia have significantly outpaced the growth in Virginia's median family income. For most Virginians, that means less food on the table, less fuel in the gas tank, fewer bus and metro tickets, waiting longer to visit the doctor to receive vital health care, and smaller savings for college tuition and retirement. According to a recent study of American rental housing by Harvard University, more than half of U.S. renters, that's 21.1 million households, were cost burdened in 2012. That means these households are paying more than 30% of their income for housing. This is the greatest number of cost-burdened renters on record. A new study from the Irvin Institute shows that just how bad affordable housing situation is in the U.S. Nationally, there are only 29 affordable and available rental units for every 100 extremely low-income renter households. What's more, Virginia has the highest average rental rates in the entire Southeast. We are reaching a tipping point. If we continue to kick the can down the road rather than address this crisis, we may find ourselves too late to avert disaster. According to a recent report by the George Mason Center for Regional Analysis, over the next 2 decades, Northern Virginia is expected to experience the highest job growth in the D.C. metropolitan area, but only if we have the housing necessary to attract skilled workers to fill these positions. To attract new workers, the region will need to have a sufficient supply of housing that meets the needs of the future workforce, is also affordable given the wage structure of the economy, and is located near emerging and growing job centers. If we do nothing to address these issues, the lack of housing, increasing traffic congestion, and the declining quality of life will make it more difficult for businesses to attract workers and less attractive for new firms to locate in Northern Virginia. Because Northern Virginia is a major economic engine for the Commonwealth, contributing a significant amount of tax revenue, solving this housing crisis should be one of our top priorities. In addition to threatening the stability of our economy in Northern Virginia, George Mason also finds that the lack of a comprehensive strategy to address affordable housing in Richmond could risk this region's quality of life and economic vitality as well. The same is true for Hampton Roads, where housing affordability is expected to be a major challenge because job growth is projected to be mostly in sectors with median wages of less than $50,000. In order to meet the growing demand for affordable housing across the Commonwealth over the next 2 decades, we need to change the way we think about affordable housing in the General Assembly. Rather than treating affordable housing as a burden or an afterthought in our budget, we need to start treating affordable housing the same way we treat transportation or education. These are investments in our infrastructure that are necessary to support economic development and sustainability. We need to make affordable housing a budget priority and a business priority so that we do not stifle the potential for future economic development before it even may begin. Both the government and the business community need to work together to study best practices across the country, develop a comprehensive strategy, and find innovative solutions that fit Virginia. One such solution that I've been working on over the past 2 years is the Virginia Affordable Housing Trust Fund. While we've made incredible strides in implementing this tool, and it's affected over 700 families in just the 1 year we've funded it, we can be doing so much more to provide substantial dedicated funding. If we wait until the lack of affordable housing units starts to impact the bottom line of businesses across the Commonwealth, it may already be too late to reverse course and fix this problem. For Virginia families struggling to put food on the table and wondering how they're going to pay their rent at the end of this month, doing nothing is simply not an option. With so much at stake, Mr. Speaker, the General Assembly needs to act now to address this crisis and make sure that Virginia remains the best place to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.